Good evening, my luminous ladies. Okay, so I'm having a moment. I was already deep in research about this topic, then ZZZ dropped another hint that Billy is getting an S-rank version. There's two directions the devs could go, making him the Starlight Knight or returning to his old outfit and fighting style. He's definitely inspired by the Wild West legend Billy the Kid, and the version of the legend that was used has all the insight we need to figure out what his S-rank is going to look like. Okay, a little quick recap about Billy's lore, the stuff that I assume everyone knows. He was made by Hollow Raiders from found parts, sold to Caesar's father, who was the leader of the Calydon biker gang at the time. He spent a long time with them, and when they split up, Caesar's father disappeared and Sons of Calydon was formed by Big Daddy. Big Daddy decided to let Billy go. He left, he got 2 guns from a friend, and made his way to the city to start a new life. When he met Nicole, he joined Gentle House. Now he's a Starlight Knight superfan, and his celebrity crush is Monica from Oh Sweetie. His best friend is Anby. He's a goober, very intelligent, and he passed the Forbidden Fruit test, which is ZZZ's version of the Turing test. In one of the first official posts for ZZZ, The News Volume 1, we see the silhouette of Billy in the Starlight Knight cosplay, and we learn a little bit about the plot of the movie. The post says, "This is an entertaining series shot in the same style as the old Civilization special effects hero shows. It tells the story of the Starlight Knights who fight all manner of monsters to protect the city." And the Did You Know blurb says, "Since CG was not developed when the film's most classic beach duel scene was shot, the props team invested heavily in making thousands of rubber lobsters and pike crabs for the visual effects of the villain starting a tsunami with his ultimate skill. To shoot the scene, more than a dozen set staff threw the props at the actor during filming. However, 6 months after the film was finished, Wood, the experienced actor starring as the villain, suddenly came out as a sea species supremacist. He also claimed that sea creatures are the highest species in the universe, which caused his agency to cut ties." Now, I know if you're watching this video, you probably had a Power Rangers phase. Billy considers the ZZZ version absolute cinema, and he loves Starlight Mirage. He keeps saying that it has a deep plot, and you gotta watch this clip of the trailer in the loading screen, because it definitely does. I don't think the foreshadowing could be any more direct. They're talking about the ethereal hive mind in the form of Black Hole and Black Hole's minions. It's a direct foreshadowing for Geppetto and Geppetto's ethereal minions, but also on another level, the creator and Geppetto being a minion for the creator. I mean, we all see him get dragged away by strings when you kill him in Lost Void. Like, they put that cutscene there for a reason. Now, we don't know how the Starlight Knights are going to show up in the plot. We know that there's a prequel coming out, setting up just one opportunity for it. There's a game, collectibles, and most surprisingly, the one that I think it is, the Starlight Knights are used in promotions for the Defense Force products. This is the blurb about the collab oil. I'm not reading it to you, but I do think that this is going to be the title that they use for Billy, Starlight Ranger. With the amount of times that Billy's S-rank version has been alluded to, foreshadowed, or pretty much just shown to us, it's kind of confirmed, and we probably don't need to speculate about that part. I'm just going to show you how many times they've shown us before, because it's honestly kind of bonkers. This post about the cunning hares calls Billy a Starlight Knight-like male robot. During the event that went with the Bizarre Brigade launch, he wants to make Monica the character that gets put into the game, but was quickly told that won't happen. He then buys a Starlight Mirage cosplay and says he will be a Starlight Knight. That also doesn't happen, so he just has his cosplay laying around. In the live stream, Anby said Billy loves the movie trope of characters changing their costume for a grand reveal. At the end of Anby's agent story, Billy says, "Maybe I should switch back to my old threads too." And there's a whole running gag that it plays into, that Billy isn't able to transform, and by transform I mean putting on a costume and reciting his favorite part of his favorite movie. as of right now, it's not really clear if his S-rank version is going to be his old outfit or it's going to be the Starlight Mirage. But I think the version of Billy the Kid that the ZZZ devs use as inspiration is going to have all of the insight we need to figure it out. Well, it's a legendary tale with a significant amount of conflicting evidence in the real story. It's filled with murder, deception, lies, revenge. Oh my gosh, everything good about an old Western. Except this actually happened, and it was actually horrific, and there were actually 2 little wars about it. Okay, so here's the facts. Everyone involved was lying about it the entire time. Now, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. And it was proven with forensic examination that it was all lies. And both versions have so much anecdotal evidence to support them. It's kind of bonkers. And to this day, the people who live in those areas will say that his death was a hoax, that he faked his death so he could like go skip town, start a new life. And that's why I think Billy is not going to go back to his old outfit. I think he's going to become a Starlight Knight. Now, going into this, the actual Billy the Kid started his life in the Irish neighborhoods in New York. It was a difficult life in the 1860s. This is a time when Irish people were discriminated against and living conditions were horrific, literally the slums. And at that time, he went by Henry McCarty. Fast forward a little, once settled in Silver City, New Mexico, his mom passes away from tuberculosis and he was abandoned by his stepfather around 14. He made some decisions out of desperation. One of those bad decisions got him involved with a robbery of a laundromat. He took clothes and 2 pistols. By the time he was 18, he was already a federal fugitive and outlaw. He used the alias William H. Bonney moving forward. He was given a lucky break when he robbed horses from John Turnstall, who decided to drop the charges and offer Bonney a job. Turnstall became Billy's mentor, employer, and one of his chosen family. Okay, here are the parallels to Caesar's father in the story right here. Okay, get this. Turnstall was murdered by Buckshot Roberts and his crew. This led to the Lincoln County, well, this was called the Lincoln County War, and it led to the 5-Day War, and eventually the murder of most of the people in both parties. This is the revenge I'm talking about. They were a deputized posse, or whatever it was called back then. So Billy the Kid and his buddies, they were all oh my god, they were literally seeking revenge. They killed the 3 guys they captured, who they were like, being paid $4 a day to capture. He got imprisoned, he was shot, all this crazy stuff. Okay, so this is where it gets really, really crazy. So Sheriff Brady is shot and killed, and Billy the Kid is held responsible. He is sentenced to death by hanging, and so the Sheriff Garrett, once he's in jail, right? Once Billy the Kid is in jail, Sheriff Garrett has to go like set up the gallows so that he can do it the next day. And so Billy the Kid escapes, and Sheriff Garrett drops everything he's doing and goes to go rectify that situation. Things don't go 100%, and while Billy the Kid is hiding out in his buddy's house, in Sheriff Garrett's version of the story, he goes upstairs, breaks into 2 different rooms, into the armory, gets a gun, and then shoots this other guy at the bottom of the stairs. Now, in the forensic examinations, the blood was found at the top of the steps, and I believe that, stress can make you, misremember things, but also, what if it's all lies? Oh my gosh, what if it's all lies? Something about this story is not adding up. I wish there weren't so many, mysteries around it. Alright, the version of the legend that the ZZZ devs decided to use as inspiration is the one where Billy the Kid fakes his own death. He gets the gun from the outhouse that someone gave to him in the outhouse, skips town, and starts a new life. And the person who was actually killed, when you know it was racism. They shot a Mexican person and just called him Billy the Kid. I don't think this is what actually happened in history. I think there's more mysteries and the actual truth is very murky. But in this version, it lines up with Billy getting his 2 guns after he leaves Sons of Calydon. And that's why I think that this is the version that the devs used. After examining everything, I think the most important point to figure out what Billy's S-rank version will be is that he says he wants to keep moving forward in his friendship rank-up scene, and because the understanding that Billy the Kid assumed an identity before he was known as that alias. I think he's gonna have the Starlight Mirage costume with his hair out because of the silhouette on the Volume 1 news. I hope I made any bit of sense with this one. Let me know what you think. Also, 73% of you aren't subscribed, and if you made it this far, you have to blink that button. I would love for you to be one of my alliterative Archaeothyrus. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.